Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? You're watching Rants! And for the first time ever, we're going to have a new show within our show called Tim's Travels. And what Tim's Travels is, him explaining and discussing his experiences where he meets all these different types of wrestlers all across the country, mainly in New York State, but you never know, it could be other states as well. And as you know, he's one of the biggest wrestling fans you'll ever meet. And he knows his stuff. He knows all different types of promotions. He watches all different types of promotions on a regular basis. He eats, sleeps, and breathes wrestling. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Well, for the most part, obviously. You don't really do that stuff, but you know what I mean. So we're very excited. This is our first edition ever of Tim's Travels. And the first person that we want to talk about is the time where he met the Boogeyman. But before we get into that, and he's one of the craziest wrestlers ever in WWE history, in my opinion. But before we get into that, I'd like for Tim to explain what he does as far as going to these shows are concerned.
Yeah, like sometimes I go to a show as just a fan, and then some of the indie promotions who I have friends who work for, I usually volunteer my time on the show doing ring crew, security, like whatever they need me to do, clean up, after the show, set up chairs.
You name it.
Anything to be involved with a sport that I love so much. And for me to be able to work shows, like you go to these meet and greets and everything, it's one thing. It's another thing to actually be working with these people and they treat you like an equal, even as a ring crew person.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I mean, ring crew must be hard work, would you say?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, moving all that equipment around is pretty heavy, and you have to be precise. I mean, think about it. If you just mess up the slightest thing on the ring, a wrestler could get injured from that.
Definitely.
And also, I never knew you did security. What did you do specifically? You made sure the crowd was in order and stuff like that?
Yeah, I made sure that nobody was filming it.
Oh, okay.
Like
that's cool.
Because, people put out stuff on
YouTube,
on DVDs,
yeah.
And, to see, a rough cut on YouTube, when we have somebody come in and professionally film it, you want to have the professionally done DVD, not this rough cut on YouTube.
True.
Because then people will be like, yeah, they'll see that and they'll think that's what everything looks like.
Here I'm thinking that you had to break up a fight or something, and
I had to throw out a few people. I had to throw out a few people at times.
Oh, awesome. You don't want to miss with Big T right here.
No.
So, yeah, it sounds really interesting, and a lot of times you don't get paid for this, right? But you might get a free ticket or a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, usually going to see the show for free.
That's always a big plus. There's no denying that.
Plus we get to hang out with the wrestlers.
That's awesome. I mean, you can't put a price on meeting wrestlers. It's priceless moments,
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to meet wrestlers backstage, and maybe you might once in a while see them break character, right?
Yeah, because it's...
You got to think they can't be in character 100% of the time.
No, because most of the time, you go to a meet and greet, and it's okay, they sign a thing, and you walk away. When you're actually working the show, you get more time with these people, and it's more intimate, and they just... you think that after a show that they would stop talking about wrestling, but they're still sharing stories with us and stuff, and
that must be pretty cool to gain insight like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's get right into it. About the Boogeyman. So give a little bit of background of how you met him.
So I was working a show for In Your Face Wrestling, and it was in Boston Spa at the time.
New York.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
And
which is about a half hour north of Albany, what do you say? 45 minutes?
Yeah. And my friend's my friend's a referee, and he's so we're going to be picking up the Boogeyman. And since I was with him at the time, I got to go with him. So we picked
That's
him up,
pretty awesome.
We picked him up from the airport, and so we got to hang out with him before the show, and he was like super nice, and like one of the nicest guys that you'll ever meet.
Really?
In the wrestling business. And so like we get to the arena, and
Which arena was this?
Boston Spa Community Center.
Okay.
And they needed somebody to prepare the night crawlers, the worms. And he didn't travel with his own worms that you think he would.
Imagine that, though, like boarding an airplane with like 100 worms.
Yeah.
I don't think he would get through
I
security.
don't think worms would go through customs.
Imagine a sequel of Sneaks on the Plane. Worms on the plane!
So somebody like got worms from like Stewart's or something.
I just thought of Dumb and Dumber. I got worms.
And I had to wash the worms and get them prepared for the Boogeyman.
That must have been a really unique job.
It's like, okay.
Imagine putting that on a resume. Yeah, I washed some dude's worms.
Yeah, I got they're a delicacy to him, I guess. So it's like, normally this is something that I would do, but hey,
It's the Boogeyman.
it's for a former WWE superstar that was on TV.
That's awesome, dude. When was that?
It was like a couple years ago now. But it was probably one of my better experiences, as odd as it was. I was very appreciative of it.
That must have been an interesting experience.
Yeah, well, he made up for it after the show, because we ended up going to the bar after. So,
Oh, nice. That's always good.
So it was worth it.
He bought you a drink?
Yeah,
What kind of drink?
probably like a Labatt's.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
That's what I was big into at the time.
That's cool. That's a pretty awesome story, and but I mean, explain more how you became involved with the show. How did someone call you up, or did you call them? Did you reach out to them, or how did that occur?
Basically, my friend Charlie, who worked there as a referee,
Oh, cool.
knew of me, and he told the boss at the company that I can help out. So I got up at 9 o'clock in the morning and went to the lot where the storage unit where they keep all the ring gear and everything for the ring. Set the ring in the morning. Then from there, you go to the arena, set up the ring, and then we had to go get the talent. So then that's when we went to go pick up the Boogeyman.
From his hotel?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of hard work, I bet.
Yeah, because you gotta have
fun.
You gotta keep them
too.
entertained too before the show
Yeah.
and everything. So the Boogeyman's like, "Can you go do a beer run for me? Because if I'm gonna be eating all these worms, I need something else in my system." We're like, "Wait, you're actually gonna be eating worms tonight?" "Oh yeah."
I never knew he actually ate them. I thought, like he would pretend, maybe eat one of them or pretend to eat it, but
Yeah.
does he just grab a whole handful and just...
Yeah.
Wow. Now, how was he during the show? Did he put on a good performance?
Oh yeah.
Who did he face that night?
I think he was supposed to be in a match with Bobby Ocean. And
Oh, okay. I met him before. He's a good guy. Good
Then
wrestler.
he ended up facing somebody else because I guess that the Boogeyman is really a babyface.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's not a heel. You think because since he kind of looks like a monster with the face paint and eating the worms, that he would be a heel. But he's actually a babyface in real life.
Oh, that's
His
interesting.
character is babyface.
Because not often, like, a big guy like him... I mean, it happens, I'm sure, from time to time, but for the most part, not often, like, a huge guy is a babyface.
Yeah.
I mean, the Big Show is sometimes a face, but he's sometimes a heel. He flip-flops all the time, and he's a huge guy.
He's just like
But
he's kind of like one of those slapstick characters. Like he's kind of hilarious, gimmicky, comicky gimmicks.
now, did you learn anything about the Boogeyman that night that you had no idea about?
Not really.
Like, did he share any details with you? Well, that you can disclose at least.
Like they said that it's a tough business to get into, but you just have to keep going, and you gotta really have goals to get there, and once you do, try to get yourself over.
Yeah.
Talked about how JBL put him over, You know,
That must have been awesome.
Booker T put him over. You know, he said they didn't have to do that for me, but they believed in me, and they put him over, which was pretty cool.
And how many times did he have the title throughout his career?
He didn't have any titles.
He didn't? Oh, I'm surprised. You would think a guy like him would have had the title at least once.
No.
Or any type of title.
All his matches were pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah.
But
he had good matches with...
I'm sure he definitely had his moments, though.
He had good matches. Back when they had, like, the WWE, ECW, and WWE kind of, like, bought it out. They kind of brought him in for that.
Oh, okay.
And everything. But he had good matches with Big Daddy V, Viscera, Mark Henry.
So would you say, was he the most popular? I mean, when did he, in your opinion, when did he reach the peak of his career?
I think when he made it to like SmackDown and when he had his matches with Booker T.
And that was in the early 90s or
WrestleMania.
something?
No, this was like WrestleMania 22. He had a match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, WrestleMania 22, he had a match with Booker T. That was probably the peak of his career. Probably one of his bigger matches.
Wow.
And, well, because he was on Tough Enough. And he was saying that he was 30. But he's actually one of the oldest competitors on Tough Enough because he was 40 at the time.
Which is rare because, I mean, to be on a show like Tough Enough, you wouldn't expect a 40-year-old on that show. But
yeah.
That's interesting. That's
why he got eliminated, because he lied about his age.
Ah, that sucks.
But then he ended up getting a contract later on.
Oh, okay.
He wrestled in OVW, which was their territory at the time. Before there was NXT, there was OVW, and he wrestled there.
Interesting.
So, but he has a Legends deal now, and he shows up on WWE programming from time to time. He was on the Edge of Christian show. He was on Swerve.
That's good.
So,
now, are there any last things that you want to share about that night that you met him? Anything that you didn't already share?
So, like, after the show, we go, like, it's me, Prince Charlie, Boogeyman, and Sheldon Benjamin was also with us.
Oh, nice.
At the time.
There were rumors that he might be coming back, but he was injured.
Yeah, someday he'll come back once he gets healed up. So, like, I'm riding in the car, and, like, you think, okay, the show's over. We're not going to talk about wrestling anymore. We're going to talk about real life or whatever. But nope, they're sharing stories on the road, and we're just there,
just soaking it all in.
Like, wow, we had no
drink it in, man. Drink it in.
No idea how this was like, but for them, it was normal.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to be it was like listening to a live podcast in person. So, and then we go to one of the restaurants, and one of the restaurants is closing. So that we were at Hooters, and
nice.
We wanted to watch one of the UFC fights. So we watched like the end of that, and then they were closing. They're like, "No, we don't want to leave yet. We don't want the party to stop.
We're just getting started."
So then one of the girls was like, "Oh, let's go to JT Maxey's down the road, off-road." So we went there.
Nice. That's a good place.
Between me and the Boogeyman, we ran up the bar tab pretty high because our friend Charlie was our DD.
You put a few away?
Yeah. Our friend Charlie was driving. Sheldon doesn't drink. So between me and the Boogeyman, we were keeping ourselves entertained.
That's hilarious.
So,
sing any karaoke that night?
My friend Charlie did.
How about Boogeyman?
No.
Or Sheldon?
No.
Oh, okay.
But my friend Charlie did some karaoke. It was pretty funny.
Oh, awesome.
By the end of the night, Boogeyman, he's like, "You're my new best friend."
That's awesome, dude.
It was a great experience.
Oh, man.
There's one thing to go to these meet and greets and everything and have like a few seconds. That's another thing to spend the whole day with these people.
Yeah. Yeah, those are moments that you'll never forget.
Definitely.
Well, thanks very much for sharing your experience with meeting Boogeyman. Okay, we're on camera. And thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is your show, so you're going to stop by every show. But anyways, we appreciate it. And let us know your thoughts about the story. And yeah, it was good. It was very cool.
And I ended up seeing the Boogeyman later on. A few years, like last year, or was it this year? It was recently. It was this summer. This past summer, I saw the Boogeyman again
Where?
at Infinity Con.
Oh, sweet,
And-
sweet.
Well, it was at Albany Comic Con, but it was just there representing Infinity Con. So I did see him again recently, and he did remember me, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's always a great feeling when a wrestler that you meet remembers you, because think about the thousands of people that they meet.
Yeah, and he messages me on Facebook from time to time.
Oh, awesome, dude.
And on Twitter and everything.
That's awesome.
We do keep in touch.
And you can follow Tim on Twitter at Tim Beagle,
Yep.
or Ring Rants at Ring Rants. You know the deal by now. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe to us, like our video, share our video, and check out our Instagram. So, anyways, stay tuned for our next episode of Timmy's Travels, and my special guest will be Tim again.
It is my show. Man.
It is his show. It's an brand extension off of Ring Rants.
Yes.
So, yeah, this was fun, doing our first ever Tim's Travels.
And I have a lot of stories. So.
He does. He's met countless wrestlers, so we're going to have a lot of material and content for you guys. Thanks for watching. Any last words?
Yeah, man. Stay tuned.
Check it out. See ya.
See ya.